Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, quick crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up.
Well, ain't this something now? Hi again, everyone. I am Christian the Crusaders driver. Welcome back to the show, and welcome here to the first showing of the Cadillac CTS-V race cars. Very first time we've ever, ever, had the honor and the privilege to call these ones out here and call this race in the show. The first time for everything. This is going to be an interesting one. Before we get to that fun stuff, let's see who we got on our gridding here tonight. On the pole for the Pushing Limits Racing League Series, it's going to be the Rattlesnake. Robert Collins, the 21, is outside. The Warren Young, the number 1. Row number 2, Jeffrey Oaks, the 20, is outside. Jason Wright, 54. Row 3, or it's going to be Matthew Hoffer in the 28 is outside. Keith Checkmate Taylor in the 08. Row 4 will see Cindy the Golden Taylor in the 07 is outside. To her outside will be Dustin Solnicker in the 66. Row 5 it's Jeffrey Todd Upson in the 72 it is outside. Wally Babb in the 99. Row 6 is going to be Eric G. Gain. The 51 is outside. Nick Kern in the 69. Your final starter C from the back, from the pack, will be in the row 7, Chantel Throttle Pot on the 5 to her outside. Jerome Keeney, the 61. Your final starter C, the row 8 of 48, Stanley Pottled is outside. Tori Thompson, the 88. And Landon McKenzie, the 99. Race fans, we've got a treat in store for you for this one. The very first showing, the very first showcase of these road course style cars, these Indy kind of style hacked and stacked, racked, stack battle machines. Not so much known for their oval racing, I may add, but you know, at the end of the day, they are still very much built for the ovals as much as they are for the road courses, although generally that's what you'll see them running on in the first place. Kind of just pacing their way around the track right now, just trying to get settled up and settled down, see how they get a feel for these cars. It's a new look and a new feel, that is for sure. I was down there earlier and I tried them out for myself. I can say they handle very smooth, but there's a little bit of a downside to them. They can be a little bit of a handful when you're not careful, so you really gotta be pacing yourself, really understanding the momentum you're carrying. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how well they do. Kind of down on the setup that they would have gave them for Charlotte. This is actually a setup made in from Pushing Limits. I was getting told the owner actually had a hand with it, trying to get things figured out. He said there to me earlier before he went on to the show, he really feels like this is going to be a race that these guys can be proud of and these guys can enjoy. And I definitely agree with him. They'll run them around once again here, trying to pace this one back in the field. We're getting ready to go live. Green flag racing, wall-to-wall coverage here on the show. It'll be interesting to see how things go down, how they play out throughout this one. As they get ready to go, the green flag flies out. We're underway. Not really even going to talk for a minute here, guys. I'm just going to let you just take a feel and a whip of how much these motors and these power beast machines run. They are an absolute handful to watch. And Keith Checkmate Taylor right now already onto a hot start, trying to make a run up to the feed. Fighting him down, and now it is Jeffrey Oaks and Jason Ripe now back into the corners here on the top three. Troubles there right in front of them, right behind them. Major problems. Caution, caution, caution. Big trouble down there, major issues. Stanley Pottle, Nick Kern involved, Dustin Solnaker all crashed in down on the front straightaway for the first lap. We are under caution. Somebody might want to get the tow trucks out because I think we might need a few of them. Let's take a look at the PT Instant Replay and find out here. See what happened here exactly as they're coming around those corners. Like maybe a little bit of a tag there from the 72. Oh yeah, big time tag there, man. He got a good lick of him. Having a look at it from another angle, see how exactly that came to be with Todd Tufts there. Interesting to know he was running pretty hard there into that run, but it looked like maybe he might have had a little bit of a trouble as he was coming off. Right out here, you're gonna see him coming off that corner, and it looks like the guys were, some of them were in the wall protection, but should not have hurt him his run. Looked like he was trying to swear and avoid the 07, ended up just pretty much dumping himself right on them there. He had no, I don't even think he realized where they were at. I'm not sure if that was just bad spotting work, or maybe the driver in front, or maybe they just not see what was going down, but nonetheless, somebody is gonna have a talk about that one. And I would not blame them. Number 1, Warren Young currently will be a race leader. Tori Thompson, not supposed to be on the race lead. He has currently moved up a few spots, but he's not supposed to be there. Let's take a good look at these cars, good look at these designs. You see right now that Matthew Hoffert's 28 Lionel machine. Again, these are designed literally as Cadillacs, so they are designed and perfected to be race cars with a good and built-in roll cage and those big spoilers on the back. Those things will give you some speed, some hit, and quite a few runs there. The downforce on those things can just pretty much take in tremendously. It's very similar to how they work with the old, those Flybirds or something like that. Those old big wing birds you seen on the track there on NASCAR back in the day before they got rid of it because they outlawed it. It's pretty much that. It's the best way I can explain it. Yeah, Mark Customs 51 there of Eric G. Gann. Oh, he always running that scheme out there, but it's a sweet looking ride, and honestly, it's a pretty sweet looking scheme, I gotta admit, so can't deny that whatsoever. So right now on the race lead, I know that right now currently shows Thompson in the lead, but that's not the case here. Actually, the race leader would be Mr. Warren Young, still searching for his first career win on PTN Racing TV. I'm still dumbfounded and stunned that it has not happened yet. But believe it or not, folks, it is the case, and it's happened before. As you see, Khan maybe having a little bit of troubles down there with the internet. Might want to get that fixed if I was you, buddy. So they'll pace them back and around, get things settled back down, and hopefully we will get some runs in here. Green flag is looking to come back out this next time by. So on the restart, Warren Young will be our race leader. Troy Thompson, due to a scoring error, they're still having troubles with that. Thompson got a lucky dog, I believe, and he shouldn't have, and that's what got him ahead of the field. So right now that is the current situation. Obviously tonight also, though, this isn't just the first race we have with some road course cars. You may have noticed we have a championship race coming up after this one. The last of the bunch for the Fast and Fun IROC series. It is their last race of the season. It's coming your way down at Daytona. For the first time ever, we'll see those bad boys at their fullest capacity and their fullest of speeds. How well will they handle it? You'll find out in a little bit. Still under caution. I believe they're trying to get that issue with Torrey Thompson figured out because he's not supposed to be on the lap that he's on right now, guys. I mean, that's the biggest issue right now. Everyone is trying to figure out how to get around and how to work around, because currently if those transponders not working right, then you've got a bigger problem on your hands, which is just trying to figure out how to get back into the proper positioning. So Thompson looks like he's just going to come to a screeching halt. And I think I might know why. He's going to let the drivers get ahead of him when they come by him. And what that should do is it should clear everything out. Although, to be honest, nobody wants to see them pacing here. They want to see them going hard racing, hard full throttle action out here. We fans know what you want. You want to see some hard runs and some good battles. Push the limits definitely been delivering out there. But right now, this one's a bit of a kind of an overhaul. A little bit of a situation there, like I said, just that little problem of basically one of our drivers not being able to get figured out here. So right now, Torrey currently still stopped on the front stretch, obviously, because they're trying to get him onto the lead lap, if you will, because the transponders completely broke down on it. So the second time in iRacing we've had that happen. Matter of fact, you guys are probably wondering at home, who won last night at Talladega? Well, we have the winner. It was Matthew Hoffert. That was because of a scoring error, unfortunately, because when the race came to an end, there was the big issue of basically the whole track basically broke down on us. So when the timing came to an end, the iRacing server kind of pretty much crashed on the scoring limits, so that had to get adjusted and fixed out. Drivers are well aware of that, and they are well aware that Matthew Hoffert was the victor. So we can't say for sure that Mr. Matthew Hoffer won, not our friend Milligan that came across the line first. Actually, it was Hoffer came across the line first, judged by iRacing's stance on it. So we are not going to argue with that. We'll leave that alone. But right now we're currently trying to get this one somewhat back to normality, get this one back underway. Drivers are definitely getting heated. They're ready to get firing on. Field will pace them off and about. Coming around turn 3 and 4 here, they will now start to charge, start to line the cars up and get this one ready to go. That little problem we had earlier finally got fixed. That means only one thing. It's time to get the full links pushed. It's time to push some limits and see where this goes. Here we go, back to the green. Let's see how we flow. Right out of the start here, you see now it is Jeffrey Oaks on the outside line there. Now, the inside line moving quickly as he moves through the field here. We got problems down there again. Dustin Stoneacre and Stanley Pottle involved in this one. Jerome Keeney as well. Gosh, and goes out. And what happened exactly down there, I wonder? The troubles just continue to strike. Jerome Keeney, he didn't even get off the run there. What happened there? Car would not fire, and it looks like the 61's car completely gone. Car would not fire on the restart. And that might have been the worst possible situation. Let's see if he missed a shift here. Alright, everything looks fine there. And then as he's going into the turn, I'm not sure if he just missed a shift or he just had a misfire and miscalculation, but that's what started that whole chain reaction up, and unfortunately piled up a few drivers in between it. He's in pit road right now trying to get that fixed. We'll see if that helps, see if that comes back to play later on, but this is not what you want to see on a start or any kind of broadcast to start with. And these guys and gals know that all too well. They want to get this going. They want to get this race in because they know these things can run and they know they can get some speeds in. And this is not how they wanted to play that out, obviously. So hopefully, now that we got those issues out of the way, maybe we can get some good racing in here. So now the pace will hopefully settle back down. Warren Young and Jeffrey Oaks will be our race leaders here on this one. Warren Young still searching for his first career win here on PT Racing TV, trying to get the old dreaded curse out of the way and finally put it into victory lane. The Monster Energy Code Orange machine. A little bit of a unique design on that one. Very strong look, very powerful look in my opinion. And I gotta be honest, these Cadillacs, I'm gonna be honest with you folks, I've never been a fan of the Cadillac look. But I will say that this is a very, very unique look and a very unique style for this kind of a race car. And admittedly, it does look better with the wing and everything to it. It makes it, to me, look a little more fierce, a little more suspicious and intensity base to it. Yeah, we're gonna go to the onboard camera here. I'm gonna show you what it looks like inside here with Cindy the Closer Taylor. Get a good look at the roll cage in here, a good look at the car itself. These guys and gals are strapped and packed in tight. And that's a good thing too, because they need to be with these things because they are fast and they can be a bit crazy out there. Still awaiting for another 1 lap to go call here. The driver's still getting all taken care of. Saw earlier on there, Dustin Slonager kind of got tagged in between with the field there. It had nowhere to go. Jerome Keeney still in pit road. The damage all but done up on that 61. Saw just a brief second. You know, as a driver, this is one thing you absolutely hate to see and hate to deal with for a multitude of reasons, but the main reason, in my opinion, is the fact of you now have a situation on your hand where you're basically just burning laps up by just going around in the caution flag. And obviously no one wants that, and the fans don't want that, the drivers don't want that. They want to still go out there and do what they need to do, but I mean, how can you get around the situation that is basically you're basically having to just work out the mercy of the track and the iRacing server? And it looks like finally we will hit up a 1 to go on the restart. So Warren Young, Jeffrey Oaks, they will all be at it here. Jeffrey finally going to the outside. Looks like he'll down signal for it. Nick Kern, the 69, trying to somehow remedy his night out, trying to get some speed back in. He's going to have a little bit of work to do here tonight, that is for sure. And looks like his troubles are continuing here. Not sure why the motor misfired there or what happened there exactly, but he just kind of came to the stop there and all of a sudden just did not get going again. Bring it in, bring it through. Jeffrey Oaks looks like got a little Batman scheme on that one. I'm seeing a little bit of a bat signal there on the front and the sides. Unique style on that one. A lot of these cars really have some really awesome looking stuff to them. I will say that right now. Well, they'll come around, pitch them in, pitch them forward here, set them up for the green flag restart. There it is. We're finally underway. Now can we keep it clean? So far, so good. Looking pretty good. Con now, the Papyrus 21 now fighting right down to the bottom line, trying to make a move there on the number 1 of Warren Young. Jeffrey Oaks looking for an opportunity here to possibly steal some shows as he starts to move to the field, getting himself a little bit of position in, down, out in the 3rd place. Warren and Con putting up a pretty good battle, and you can see that outside does have a little bit of run down there, so you can actually run that pretty in tightly because, again, that downforce on those cars can really push you forward and push you more. That's a big thing that helps you when you're trying to run this place. Oaksy right now possibly looking for opportunity there in the middle, not trying to go 3 wide saloon just yet. You want to watch out for that. And you can hear those motors revving. You can hear them going hot as they can be right now. They are going big time. Warren and Con still a side-by-side battle. Con looked like he might have a little bit of a better run now on the bottom. Young starting to fade just a little bit. Bigger set of tires though on those things, it does help him a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily make it even easier. Todd Tuss right now possibly endeavor trying to make moves up to the top 5. He's got the 28 of Matthew Hoffer now in his line of sight. The pack starting to kind of close in the gap more as they go. It seems like these guys actually run these things pretty well on these cars and circuits. Been pretty interesting, pretty good in my opinion. I would say that honestly, they're very good road car cars, but they seem like they're pretty good oval cars too, I must say. On board here with Keith Checkmate Taylor right now as he leads the charge from the back of the outhouse to get back over the White House. Last finally starting to come into play. Driver's starting to get a little bit more of a feel, a little bit more consistency and control. Jason Ripe on the inside line there, the Dunkin' Donuts 54, trying to put the Cadillac ahead there, the 51. While the Todd Tusk goes a little bit straight to the bottom, outside again, now challenging up for position here on Eric G. Gann. A little bit of a run there coming off, but unfortunately Todd makes a misstep, and Checkmate sees an opening to get around Jason. Ripe opens the door up, and now Todd might open the door up for one more, because here comes Key Checkmate Taylor hard on the outside, like making a run. Cindy the Colder Taylor being battled out as well. Currently the reigning season champion for Bushwick Limits last season. Didn't start the way she necessarily felt like she could have at the trucks in Richmond. But those Legacy Silverados definitely were a handful and a half for her to go around, she said, and she's glad to be done with that one. She was excited to go into this one tonight. You can see why. Right now it is a good battle and a half here for these drivers in these Cadillacs. I might as well call them battle axes out here for crying out loud. That's how much they run. Oh, right on the wall protection now. Big damage there for Todd Duffs, and now problems. Back behind him, Jason Ripe gives him the old love tap, and Todd goes for the ride. Caution's out, caution's out. Ooh, you could almost sense that might have been coming. We'll see what happened here on the PTM Instant Replay and see what went wrong exactly coming off that corner. Watch carefully on the bottom left of your screen. Watch the Dunkin' Donuts go up a little bit. Todd goes in way too much. And Todd, honestly, just kind of getting the rear end of the picture. Not what he was hoping for, and honestly, not what I think he wanted to have happen at all. Good news for him is he was already in pit road, so that's one nice thing to this. I believe this to be our third caution of the night here in the Cadillac CTS-V race. Honestly, kind of surprising because last time out the Richmond Legacy Truck Series, they were honestly at best not really having any troubles. Seemed like tonight though, this might not be necessarily the same situation, but you know, again, it's early, so we're not sure there. Field going into pit road. They'll try to strategize this one out, try to play this one down. Stanley Powell stays out. He currently is trying to get that car ahead back in position. The 48, making I believe only his fifth start here on PTM Race TV, and fifth with the Bushwick Limits Racing League. Gotta give credit where credit's due. He has been out here trying to make a little bit of a name for himself, kind of step out of the shadow of the Pottle camp. Usually Chantel's the one that's always running that out here, but hey man, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. This is definitely the way to do it. A lot of folks also will participating here on iRacing for the very first new season week coming up next week. Week 13 is upon us. Austin Cook has joined us in saying, "Come on, Eric Gann," saying, "Let's go, Gann." Austin Cook, great to have you on board here tonight, my friend. And right now, your boy Eric G. Gann currently up in the 6th spot right now, running 6th pretty solidly. The MR Customs doing a pretty good job, I would say. Just kind of keeping with the boys, keeping up with the girls as well. Where we do have females in our show here tonight, Chantel and Cindy, both drivers tough as nails females, as I like to refer to them as. Probably one of the tougher drivers you have to face on any track, anywhere you go. Cindy more known for her oval asphalt, while Chantel's more known for the dirt road and dirt oval. She could definitely put the boots to there. Cindy, though, she could definitely hammer down on the road course asphalt, though. She has done it before. So field pacing back in. I believe this next time by we're going to go back to green flag racing. 17 drivers locked in with us here tonight. Currently only about 15 or 14 still out on the track due to the unfortunate circumstances earlier on, barring the issues and wrecks there. But thankfully, drivers seem like they're starting to get the bit of the hang of this. Remember, this is a track that isn't exactly friendly when it comes to drivers trying to make too big of moves and too quick of stuff. It's a very famous track, obviously, Charlotte Motor Speedway, known for its traditional history and, of course, what it represents on the series for NASCAR and all that, all the other racing series in the world. It's famous for its reasons. It's famous for its well-known factors, but I'll be honest with you, folks. The oval itself, as of late in the seasons in the series, it hasn't really garnered that much, I guess you could say, attention than I feel like the Roval has as of this season's. To me, it just seems like the Roval's races are just now becoming like the new mainstream attention, like the new paradox that, you know, you need to go and see like right there and then. The oval seems like kind of an afterthought, and I don't know, maybe it's just because of the length of it and how the race is, or maybe it just needs a little bit of love and support. But I always believe that, you know, with any great track, there always needs to be a great series to run with, and the Cup Series and all the Cup cars and Xfinity and trucks evolving and adapting as time goes on, it definitely hurts the chances of really getting those kind of runs and those kind of battles wherever you go. And same could definitely be said here with these guys. But tonight you're running something a little different. The Cadillacs are out in full force, and they are showing what kind of stuff they can do and what they are capable of. It's a unique style to see these cars running on the oval, and definitely a unique look to them. But trust me when I say it, these aren't the most unique things you'll see out on the track. And yes, I will be a spoiler alert right now. We do have new series and new stuff that you've never seen on the show before, and we haven't already got to them by then. Well, you're definitely in for a few of the treats. But I will say, though, that you heard me talk earlier about the Roval. Don't worry, we have that on the list for Pushing Limits Racing League. I can't say more, and I won't say what series they have to go for it. Let's just say it's going to be interesting. Bring him down, straighten off the line, ring and fire him off. Green flag flies back out for these V8 machines. They very much sound just like the Cup car, don't they? They got the kind of rev hard rev motor and engine in there. This almost sounds exactly like that. Speaking of sounding something exactly like that, how about this? We've heard last night. 3 wide salute for the race lead. Oaksy sneaking his nose in there, pushing some full-on limits to their core. Robert Kahn holds his line in, trying to fight him off here, though. Oaksy now starting to make a little bit of a pace and a little bit of a get-around. As a third way to key checkmate, Taylor starting to peel back to the throttle and start to fire in more. Cindy Dakota Taylor having to kind of watch her cornering, watch her entries and exits. She knows one little bobble can cost her dearly and how much that affects her. And Matthew Hofford almost kind of showing you exactly what these Cadillacs will do if you upset them a little bit. Wally Babb, that 099, gonna fire right out the 5 of Chantel's on a bottle. Problems yet again for Jerome Keeney. This time, though, he just decides to park it down in the front stretch and put it in pit lane. Bit of a disappointment for him so far this season, not going, I think, the way he was expecting or how he was hoping for. Hofford on the inside right now, trying to make the move around Keith Checkmate Taylor. As they lead him down the front straightaway here at the line, Old Racing 28 is starting to make a little bit of a shape around the track and get a good, better run off of it. He's got Oaksy right in front of him here, trying to make a little bit of a move or two, trying to hang in. Power and the build-up on these things is just absolutely tremendous. These things can just fire on all cylinders and give you a run for their money. I'm legitimately trying to figure out right now how they're able to do it and how well they're handling it, but it seems like more than ever they are just getting more intriguing and more interesting, to say the least. Warren Young goes into pit road now all of a sudden. like he entered into pit lane now, but now he's entered into the pits. I'm not sure what's going on there with him, as he got a little bit of a bump there from Wally Babb, and then number 5, Chantel. The throttle paddle nearly going for another ride there, but thankfully both drivers able to hold on. Smart move there by Wally to back off, and smart move there by Chantel to just let the car settle back down and get ahead. Gann now on the outside line there. Jason Wright trying to Dunkin' Donut his way up to the front. This is a hard battle here for the top 6 at the moment. Currently 4 drivers involved in this one, with the main 2 being Babb and Pottle. Chantel having to deal with Wally there on the inside. Wally starting to make a run for it. I think maybe he's trying to give a little bit of a retail business reference and say he went to Walmart and he made sure he shopped for a good deal, and he found himself the best kind of deal, moving into the 6th around the 5. Jeffrey Oaks having to play it out, rubbing the round think on last time out. Just got put every which way to Sunday, and so many issues and so many levels. He's trying to get back at it for what happened there at Richmond and trying to win this one. But to do so, he's still got our Ernest Road drivers. They're looking to just tag him down and knock him off a few steps here. Watch out for Cam we go with now Dustin Soldaker and the 54 Jason Wright right in front of him going at it here. The DD Dunkin' Donuts up right there about in front of Dustin Soldaker. Soldaker looking to possibly make some moves, make some head tilts here. Wally Babb now back on the inside. Ryan now trying to make the run for it. Both drivers even fueled, starting to give themselves a little bit more breathing room, a little more time to hammer it in and get this one going. William Bruce Mann Jr., I want to join this league. Who should I contact? Reminds me of IROC. Done and donut his way to the front. The man beast just can't help himself without having a little fun here. Bruce Mann, I told you already how to join this league. You gotta talk to the boss, man. If you haven't messaged him up already, then you're missing out. Offer going to the back on the back straightaway, starting to draft off of Oaksy, maybe give himself a little more puns. He's challenging the 20 here, 2 longtime friends going back at it now, becoming bitter rivals, if you will. It seems like on the track they just cannot seem to leave each other alone wherever they go. Colin has just led a solid lap throughout this one, but he is not invincible. His lap time's fading off quickly. Oaksy is starting to move up quicker to him. Each lap you see that green represents what Oaksy has gained on him. If you see orange, that means what Mr. Khan has lost or has gained on there. And with only 15 laps to go, let's see how the lap time's changed. And it looks like it's going to be another change here for Oaksy. Every thousandth of a second is making the difference, but you know what also makes the difference? The run coming on the inside line there from Matthew Hufford. The Lionel Racing 28 had a solid corner move there coming into the entryway, but he did not perfect the exit. There's 3 parts to each turn: the entry, the middle, and as I like to call it, the apex of the turn, and then the exit, where basically you're just flying that thing up for a straight shot to the run. Gann now, back on the inside line, making a run for it here. He was holding that top 5 earlier on. Right now, not doing so much the same. He's just kind of keeping it going, keeping it real with himself. The 54, Jason Wright is right on his tail, right on the spot here. Here comes Hoffer and Oaksy now fighting it out once again. Oaksy had a little bit more of a run there a little bit a while ago on Hoffer, but Hoffer seems to have closed the gap back in for the battle for second. Which of these two will be the smarter of the bunch to take this one home? We'll see in a minute here, but right now, the pace starting to pack off. Some drivers kind of backed further into the group, and some trying to get in with the group. You can hear the motor down there. They are just kind of getting off that throttle quickly and coming off it harder. And you hear when it goes thump, thump. That means basically that the drivers are laying off at a certain point and laying into it more on the runs. Warren Young and Todd Tufts, they decided to go into pit road maybe a little bit later than I would have expected them to. And I'm not saying that that cost them a race, but it certainly did not help matters much. 11 laps remaining now as they lead him down the front straightaway. Hoffert, Oaksey in it to fight it out and win it. The problem is they're just letting Kahn get him further and further ahead here. Kahn's pretty much just on easy street at the moment if he can keep this going. Final laps coming up right now. We'll be down to only 10 to go. And folks, remember, after this one, the IROC series of the Fast and Fun race group will have one last race to complete. One last night to end off a perfect season, if you will, in my opinion. But in order to do so, I think they've got one driver they want to take down, and you'll figure out more about that when we get to it. So for now, though, stay tuned for this. We're currently still just about ready to finish this one out here tonight at Charlotte Speedway. On the outside line now, here it comes. Jason Rife on the outside, looking in. Schoenacre trying desperately to push the momentum, push the limit, and give him more room. Rife, maybe a little bit of damage there on the right side. Might be hurting him more than I think he realizes, but Schoenacre certainly has a little bit of damage on that front end, it looks like, or he might have. Or maybe I'm just blind out there. It doesn't look like he has any damage. It looks like there's actually defenders popping up on that. 8 to go. We've had a few cautions here or there, but I think we finally got this one dialed in. And the 28 of Matthew Hoffer still looking for opportunity when he can seek it. He don't just want Oaksey though, he wants Kahn as here. Continue to throw their Taylor, trying to desperately build some momentum back up for the boys here. The pacing, like I said, man, it's just going more and more towards Kahn's liking because he doesn't have to worry about those runs that are coming from those two heavy hitters with them battling as hard. The only difference is that they don't let them get a draft off each other and try to help out to get Kahn. Honestly, Kahn could just literally have them do one little small mistake and then it's over. But they are catching him majorly here, and Kahn, I think, is realizing he might have overdrove the tires a little bit on that one. Put too many laps down on those tires, put too many turns and silly mistakes in there, and there you go. You got yourself a recipe for disaster here, to say the least. Six to go now, and how about this? Back at it, the Taylor, Cindy, Keith fighting it out. Seems like Keith, as of late, finally starting to get a little bit of Cindy's number out here. Those two just had a rivalry beyond existence and beyond, honestly, my comprehension, because I just don't know how the heck they can even keep going with that kind of a mindset, kind of a rivalry in that race series. I'll admit, when I'm racing, I have my rivals, I have my people that probably don't like me as much as I personally am not a fan of them. But that doesn't mean you can't have a good race out there putting on a show, which is exactly what these guys and gals are doing right now. Robert Kahn, though, is just 5 laps away from success. He is going to have to try to hold on to that full throttle assault there from Jeffrey Oaks and Matthew Hoffer. They're coming quick. I think Oaksey and Hoffer may be fading slightly here. Looks like Kahn got a really good run off that exit. You can see the orange times. That's not good. They need to start doing something about that. Might be time to stop fighting it out with yourselves, boys, and start fighting it out with the track and get up there with them. You can fight it when you get to them quickly now. They are coming up. Hoffer, though, deciding not to aim for literally just staying away from fighting. He wants to fight some more. He's like, please, sir, may we fight some more? He's doing just that as they come back around. It is Kahn with the race lead, and now he's starting to pull away slightly here. So right now your top 5, the Taylor, Cindy, then Keith, and then Jeffrey Oaks, Matthew Hoffer, Enrique Hoffey, and then the Rouse think himself, Robert Kahn. All in this one as they start to bite the nail, bite the tooth, bite the teeth, because we got 2 laps to go. And this is going to be a finish. Does Hofford have anything left to get up there with Colin Curran right now, doing a tremendous job holding on to his run and holding on to his line. Not times are showing that Hofford is getting a little bit, but it's not enough. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. They'll come out of turn 4 this time by white flag is out. Cindy, the closer Taylor, trying to see if maybe there's one last move around her brother Keith Taylor there, as currently Jeffrey Oaks defies the block and defend. Doesn't want to lose his top 3 spot up, trying to stay for this one in. Right onto the run, onto the end here. Hoffert trying to swerve around where Khan's going. Khan knows he's coming up quick, coming up fast, but out of turn 3 and 4, Khan won't have to worry about this one. He takes it to victory lane and wins it at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Keith coming to a sudden halt, screeching halt there as the rest of the field kind of facing their way around. Times are finished out and done. So Robert Kahn avenging last week's unfortunate mishap and loss, costing him the title reign of being the Legacy Silverado winner, but not a bad way to start this off here. He'll walk away with the victory, and of course can't have a little Charlotte Motor Speedway without a little bit of burnouts. Although I would have felt this been more appropriate if the Dunkin' Donuts machine was out there with this, but beggars can't be choosers. What a night, what a show. Your top 3 will be on in a minute here. Let's take a look at our final gridding here. Robert Kahn wins it. Second goes to Matthew Alford. Third to Jeffrey Oaks. Fourth to Keith Checkmate Taylor. Fifth to Cindy the Closer Taylor. 6 to Wally Babb, 7 to Eric G. Gann, 8 to Dustin Sonicker, 9 to Chantel Throttle Pottle, and 10 to Jason Wright. Round out the field. 17 drivers in total coming out here tonight. All of them, in my opinion, delivered once we got this thing finally worked in and figured